Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We are here with Techlabs Ukraine. These teams are live from Kiev. We have RoX.KIS, Power Rangers, Cascade, all wanting to have a chance at getting those $10,000. That's right, we have a $10,000 tournament, and of course the last one that I did not mention yet was XIC Cup, or terrible damage of the 4 teams that are participating in it. But $10,000, Kanaz, my co-caster for today, and the caster of the Grand Finals. What do you think about those $10,000?
I think that's a lot of money for a tournament like this. It's really just a day. They're going to play every game in the entire tournament, and it's best of ones even for the beginning. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty good amount of money. Is it all for? How is it split? Do you know?
Yeah, I know. It is $5,000 for number 1, $3,000 for number 2, $1,500 for number 3, and all teams, regardless, already have $500 because that's the 4th place prize money.
Oh, well, sweet. So yeah, I mean, if you win $5,000, it's $1,000 a person. Pretty good payoff for like not that long of playing, like 7 hours or something. Yeah, so definitely pretty good, and I haven't cast in so long, I forgot Centaur was in the pool, and Abaddon's in the pool. I'm getting to see all these sweet heroes
to be
I
fair,
forgot about.
This is the first time that Centaur has been picked up in competitive Dota since he's in. Abaddon, I've seen him before as support, but Centaur, not yet. I'm gonna... What's wrong with these bans, by the way? Like Spirit Breaker ban, what? But this is it. You know what I'm gonna do? Since there's no delay on the stream, I just want to tweet out that there is indeed a Centaur and Abaddon in the same team.
That's what we get for letting Go Block draft. Yep. So we get to see these famous Go Block drafts, and yeah, Abaddon, Centaur, not heroes that I would expect to see picked up. I'm interested in how they're going to run them. I guess I kind of think of Abaddon as a support hero, and I don't know what role I expect Centaur to be in.
Well, you know what would make this complete, and what would actually be fairly funny if that actually happens? If there was still a Tiny as well, because then they could just try to pop stomp this. I'm not sure if Power Rangers is the team that will allow that to happen, but it would be funny. I mean, in terms of bans, what others... I mean, Io and Barrite are still banned. That's all fairly normal. Weaver, OD banned, fairly normal. Timbersaw and Spirit Breaker banned, not really normal. Though Razor and Lifestealer slightly okay again, I guess. But like, the rest all looks fairly standard. It's just Abaddon and Centaur.
Yeah, I mean, the bans all look kind of normal. I mean, even Timbersaw has sort of become norm after the International, where he got played a little bit, and just before leading into that when teams were trying him out. I don't know. It's Centaur, Abaddon. I want to see how they're going to run it, what they think Centaur's role is going to be. Go Black obviously is a drafter that likes to go out of the box and try and bring heroes into the sort of metagame that we don't see a lot. So he's new. Maybe they're just experimenting because it's early on, but they're best of 1, so you kind of imagine they have to have a plan.
Godlike drafting. I mean, I would say, of course, they have a plan. But we have got the Bane. Like, if we look at the heroes, Centaur, we'll probably need a bit of a safe lane, perhaps, unless he's going to be very aggressive and really running around trying to get kills. He needs some farm. He needs some farm, hopefully, for Blink Dagger, if I were to say my preference. If there's no Tiny in the game, because of course if he has that and doesn't need a Blink Dagger, because then he can just toss him in, but he needs some farm, so I'm thinking he's going to be on the safe lane, depending on what's going to be mid. Perhaps if he is up against a Dragonite, he might be able to run in the mid lane. Bane will be a solid support though. I mean, that's one of the safe laners support that is just able to save your carry. You can just stop initiation from happening, you can save your carry from taking damage for a split second, of course, for the first tick of the Nightmare. Queen of Pain will be in the mid. So I think we're going to have a Centaur Warrunner tri-lane with Abaddon and Bane. How about that?
I mean, that could work definitely very well. Nightmare is a good setup for the Stomp from Centaur. And a Photic Shield from Abaddon is also very good with Double Edge, as you will almost certainly trigger the damage from the shield just by hitting them at Double Edge. So it's a lot of burst damage. It's a pretty good setup with Bane. They can run that aggressively very easily. Centaur, obviously not a hero that needs a ton of farm. So maybe looking for some sort of safe lane carry here for the last pick that can just solo, maybe like, I don't know, Gyrocopter, Clinks, heroes that we see in that kind of capacity. Yeah, I think it could certainly work if they want to run that tri-lane and give Centaur the farm.
Yeah, we do have Clockwork already there, though, which is a pretty strong hero up against Centaur. Of course, Cogs either locking him in if he blinks forward, or shutting him out pretty strong. We have got also, I think, a dual support lane, Naga Siren, Keeper of Light, also pretty strong in terms of countering an aggressive trial lane. You've got Illuminate, you've got Ensnares, Riptides. It can very easily turn around against you. So RoX has to be careful about that one, but we'll see how they're going to try and run this. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if Power Ranger says, you know what, we know that you're going to run an aggressive trial lane, and we're going to therefore run our trial lane on the suicide lane as well, just to dodge your trial lane. Depending on what they're, and put the clockwork on the safe lane, just depending on what they're going to be going for. But Nature's Prophet now picked up, and this leaves me to think that we might have, actually, Power Ranger has run Nature's Prophet in the mid lane. How do you think they're going to run this?
Well, they definitely have options for who they can run in the mid lane. Clockwork, Nature's Prophet, even Naga are all heroes that we have seen in mid before, and it could be pretty reactionary. They think I don't like Nature's Prophet mid against the Queen of Pain. I think that's not a particularly good lane for Nature's Prophet to go for. Clockwork won't have a great time either. He can try and position himself to like use the cogs to burn some of Queen of Pain's mana, but as it stands right now, Power Rangers, I don't think they have a really good option against going against that Queen of Pain. And with these heroes, they're kind of limited in what their options are, unless they want to go like Clockwork off lane, Prophet dedicated jungle, and then like Naga farming in the safe lane with Keeper Light support, and then just pick another mid.
And then you have
it's
a Naga
real
Siren
greedy.
as a carry.
Naga Siren carry is not something we see a lot of, and it's because it doesn't work that well typically as of late. Maybe they'll go for it. I don't know if I would like it, but they might feel like they're forced into it at this point. I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what they think, because I don't like their lanes right now, definitely.
Now, RoX at least is still expecting a carry. They banned out the Phantom Lancer. The Chen was banned out by Power Rangers, which is quite surprising, considering we knew that, like, Abaddon, or we assumed Abaddon, Bane, Centaur, tri-lane. So they still needed a solo lane, which they picked up. It's a Marana. It's been a while since we've seen a Marana actually solo a lane, but it's definitely doable. I mean, she was one of the off-laners, of course. She has an escape. She can safe lane very easily as well, especially up against a Clockwork. She won't have too much issues there. Or against a Nature's Prophet. Both would be okay, depending on who's going to be there. But yeah, Power Rangers, they are in a bit of a tough spot, and they only have 9 seconds left in their bonus time. They go for Gyrocopter. So we'll see who they put up mid, but it seems like we're gonna have a Clockwork up against the Queen of Pain. That's
yeah, it definitely appears that way just looking at the drafts. RoX also have a couple options with this Marana pick. They don't necessarily have to solo the Marana. Bane with Marana is also pretty good. Nightmare is a good setup for Arrow as well. So if they wanted to try and run that kind of lane, they definitely have the options. It looks like we're gonna need a pause first though.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid solution, and I mean, 2 dual lanes and a solo lane works out just fine as well, especially if you're assuming that perhaps your opponents don't really have that strong of a trial lane, but they will have a fairly strong trial lane actually. I mean, they've got that Ensnare followed up by the Rocket Barrage. You can set up for that and the Illuminate as well. That's quite a bit of burst damage going through. But we'll see if they can get that off. But let's see who's playing what first. We're gonna jump ourselves over to RoX.KIS. They are on the dire side for this game. RoX.KIS is playing with 2 stand-ins. Goblak, of course, the one that is responsible for seeing a Centaur and an Abaddon in this game, is playing the Bane for this one. Is moving towards the bottom lane together with Abaddon, who will play the support role played by Yol. And he will be on the bottom lane. So this is an aggressive trial lane with the Marana indeed to set up. Or to set up for the Arrow with the Bane, etc. As you called out. BCZ is perfect. Playing the Marana on this off lane. That means that we're gonna have a Centaur on the solo lane. Poe. Oh, Tron. Is it how you pronounce it?
It's Tron.
Oh, I remember. Tron will play the Centaur, and then in the mid lane, the last one. Also a stand-in, and one, of course, that came from LGD International. It is G or God Kill Them All, or G Boss, apparently. Will be in the mid lane up on his Queen of Pain, and got pulled some tangos and starts off with the No Talisman. And we have maybe a little bit of a situation here in the forest.
Yeah, they're just scouting each other out. It doesn't look like either is really willing to initiate this fight at level 1. Just trying to defend the pool, it looks like, for now. We also have Riptide picked up now on Naga, so probably not going for it. Power Rangers, though, are on the Radiant side. We're going to have J4 on the Naga, and Fungshka on the Keeper of the Light. Yeah. I don't know how exactly to pronounce that. Moon is going to be playing the Gyrocopter, though. That's going to form their tri-lane. These supports kind of went out far.
Oh, yeah, they want to go for blood here. Nightmare already up on Mirana just to keep her safe. Was a defensive Nightmare. Yul taking a lot of damage. Will be the first Blood Moon. Getting the gold for that one.
Yeah, there was good work by them just to take away the Nightmare from the Keeper of Light to make sure he could get away from the arrow that was coming in. So you don't get the kill on that, and of course with the haste, they couldn't really chase him down. End up giving up first blood themselves, so good by Power Rangers. And where did I leave off? Oh, ZXC in the mid lane is going to be in Clockwork, and their off lane will be Cheshire Cat on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and there seems to be something wrong with my camera sensibility, so I am just real unprofessional going to change that around. It's better. So, we already have first blood spilled, and it went to Power Rangers, so the one that is playing with the safe trail lane. That means that the aggressive trail lane is going to be slightly behind right now. How do you think they're going to, or are they going to be able to make that right again with this trail lane? Abaddon, Bane, Mirana?
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely so my instinct is to say that they should be able to do it still. Their trailing's pretty good, but the trailing coming out from Power Rangers is really no slouch either. With both the Naga Siren and the Keeper of the Light, and they're able to pull because they kept the pull mostly uncontested. There's a ward drop down now, but I don't think that blocks. I'm not sure that blocks, or how they got it there if it does block. Regardless, yeah, it's going to be tough for them to definitely come back. They're going to have to make something happen. Abaddon is certainly powerful at stopping initiation or making it easier for you to go in just with the shield, but at early levels he doesn't do a ton.
You kind of need to go and dive with someone that has a shield on him to try and make something happen. Actually, they might try to go for something right now. Riptide's already there. It looks like Power Rangers is the one that's leading the charge here, though. Rocket Barrage, BCZ has to leap himself away. The rocket still hits upon Yul, though, and Yul taking a lot of damage, has to run. The shield is up on BCZ, so he won't die. Nightmare holds Moon in place, and that might be just all the safety that they need, and it looks like Power Rangers will indeed be able to back off, or at least, well, will be backing off without any kills, though. I think, again, Power Rangers was the one that was having the upper hand here, even though nobody died. Safe trail lane prevails.
Yeah, nobody died, and Power Rangers didn't lose as much health or can really expend all that much to push them back. RoX.KIS just had to use a lot of consumables there just to get back in fighting shape so they can stay in lane and try and get a little bit more experience on these heroes. So yeah, the safe trail lane is working out very well for Power Rangers right now. All they need to do is make sure they don't overextend, get caught out, or get chased down by like an aphotic shield chase and take surprisingly large amounts of damage.
Yeah, so far so good, I'd say. And I mean, in terms of last hits, we've got Gyrocopter sitting on 9 for 3 and BZZ 7 for 4, so also Gyrocopter not really shut down as much as Mirana, and this could be trouble for RoX. They need to have a way to get back into this game, and perhaps Queen of Pain is going to be that way. I mean, Queen of Pain, definitely a hero that can be the hero that keeps you in the game if he has a solid mid lane, which for now he has. He's 18 for 9 with ZXC sitting on 7 to 2.
Yeah, I think actually one of the most interesting things that's going to be going on is this Centaur up in the safe lane. He's currently out CSing the Nature's Prophet, which isn't particularly surprising. He does do quite a bit of damage, and with return, it's kind of hard for Cheshire Cat to harass him. But once he hits level 6, that's going to help that aggressive trailing quite a bit. He can just pop the Stampede from anywhere and let them initiate on the back of that for the additional damage as well as the haste and the slow that it applies when they run through them. So maybe they'll be able to make something happen. Maybe that's their plan, why they ended up running it this particular way, to get that level 6 quickly on Centaur and then try and utilize that to help this aggressive trailing that isn't really doing too much thus far.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by the aggressive trial lane. Can't say that any other way. I was really hoping for some Abaddon action to show the world that he should be picked up more often, but no, it's not really working out. We do now have the levels, though. I mean, level 3 up on Mirana. She hasn't picked up her level just yet, her third level, that is, her skill. If it's going to be an arrow, I mean, we still have yet to see the arrow combination with the Nightmare, and I think that's definitely a potential. And especially, I mean, they have that ward placed. As you said, it doesn't block the camp, but it does make sure that RoX.KIS knows when the pool is happening. And if that happens, they might be having an opportunity to dive the tower or something like that. But again, it is Power Rangers initiating. They go for Goblak. The shield is on there. Illuminate will fly after BCZ. A look at that damage BCZ has to run then with the shield already up on the Bane. BCZ, he's not got any regen left, and none of his team do, so he has to go back to base.
Yeah, and that's the kind of situation you're in when you expend a lot in those early skirmishes. They weren't really getting gold because they weren't getting the kills, and they were using a lot of regen just to stay in lane, and that puts them behind. And now we see Mirana, BZZ has to walk all the way back to base just to heal, and he misses on the experience. It does still go to these supports, which is not the worst thing in the world. If we get a couple more levels up on these heroes, it can be very strong. But you want Mirana to be able to do something, and right now, not really in a position where it's looking like it's going to happen anytime soon.
Now, luckily for RoX.KIS, as you already mentioned, I mean, the mid lane and the top lane are doing okay for themselves. The question will be, when does RoX.KIS rotate their supports? Because that will be an important factor. One of the things on an aggressive trial lane is that your supports are just not getting that much levels. If you don't get kills, you only get the experience on the lane, while your opposing team has got experience that they are getting in the jungle as well, so they get something more out of it, and especially since they already have, of course, got that kill to their name as well. But when does RoX.KIS give up this aggressive trial lane? I think Mirana is one of those heroes that might be able to stay alive by herself. I mean, she has got leap, and she can stay alive by herself in the trial lane, or against a trial lane, or maybe even with only Goblek there to help out. We have a Baden. Oh, wait a second. There goes the shield, BZZ. Could they try and turn this around? The shield already popped. Home Missile still chasing, but they won't be able to follow up on that one. But this time she has a salve. Yay.
Yeah, they had to come back with some sort of regen. They're fully aware that they can't really do that. Those rockets coming is going to hit them all, which is kind of unfortunate for Mirana. So the salve gets canceled just before he fully healing, and then takes about 150 more damage. It's still not looking good, and yeah, and then with the Illuminate, now they're all sitting below 3rd HP. They're just kind of getting pushed out of this lane. Like you said, when do they end up giving up this lane? I don't know if it's anytime soon. Their other lanes are winning so hard right now. The CS in the top lane is currently double in favor of Centaur, which is pretty crazy. You got to consider some of those are probably treants that he's getting with double edge, but he's still getting a lot of gold, especially by comparison to the Nature's Prophet. Mirana is actually out CSing the Gyrocopter at this point as well, just because they keep pushing in to that tower. So they probably aren't really happy with how the situation is going in the bottom lane, but they're not really that far behind. In fact, I think they're leading on gold. They're leading on gold by 1,500 across all lanes, and pretty much dead even on experience.
And Queen of Pain, when is she gonna rotate? I'm just waiting for a rotation. But as you said, I mean, RoX.KIS is probably fairly happy with the way things are going, despite their trial lane failure. We do have a bit of a rotation from Goblek. I'm not quite sure where he's thinking about going. Maybe he's just gonna go out to ward, which seems to be the case indeed. As for Power Rangers, they don't really have... Oh, that arrow! That arrow! Keeper of the Light, I think you're dead. Nice arrow from BZZ, and a hookshot coming in from ZXC. Can he get G down? Blink is on cooldown for another 3 seconds. Might be all that he needs. In comes the Sonic Wave though, and they try to turn it around. ZXC is the one to go down. In comes the Riptide. BZZ leaps away. 2 very low heroes here. If only Clockwork was alive for a flare, or if Nature's Prophet had his ultimate still off cooldown or could TP in to try and help out. But it looks like RoX.KIS will be living off this one. But that arrow... brilliantly aimed by BCZ.
Yeah, it was a really good arrow, and then G, of course, getting caught out with his blink on cooldown made Clockwork think he could go for it, but assistance was there, and Abaddon, with the Aphotic Shield, with the Mist Coil, was able to just, like, keep him alive, and they end up getting away. So definitely good for RoX.KIS. They grab a couple kills. They don't lose anything for it, realistically. And Centaur, he used his ult, but he didn't rotate down there, so he's still farming, and he has a hood finished up in that top lane. He's going to be really difficult to kill.
We have got maybe a little bit of a fight coming in here from behind. Here comes Cheshire Cat, wants to go for Yul. Yul already dead. BZZ will be the next target, has a leap up, will leap towards the low ground. Only one victim on the side of RoX.KIS, but maybe also a tower to drop. Nature's Prophet finally feeling a bit more useful in this fight, in this game, I would think. And they will be able to take this first tower as well. In comes an arrow. Nicely caught by Cheshire Cat. But I guess it's better than having the Keeper of Light take that one. Nice hook shot up onto Illuminate. Cooldown. Down they go. BZZ and Goblek. Melting like... Whoa. Nice stomp. Tron. That was a bit of a failure. He gets a shield though. Illuminate will make sure that Joel gets away. Clockwork still goes down to the Queen of Pain on the backside because in comes God. Looks now also for the Keeper of Light. Gets a double kill.
Yeah, and the Naga is running J4. He gets spotted by a tower here. They know where he's at. He's almost dead just at this tower. I don't... Oh, G's gonna port for
G's
it.
gonna port for it. He has got a blink. Blinks forward. Hey there! Scream triple kill. Well, in the end, it's a fight won by RoX.KIS. However, they still lose their tower. But they get way more kills out of it. I did like that Power Ranger was the one to try and take action though. I mean, they started out real well, to be fair. But
yeah, Power Rangers were able to dive the tower, get the kill, and then grab 2 on the top lane. Yeah.
Stampede used for that one.
Yeah, they're just using Stampede whenever. That's really, I think, the power of Centaur. It has a longer cooldown than when he first came out, but it's still a pretty decent cooldown. 2 minutes, and it's, of course, still global. So you can make kinks happen anywhere. And as long as they can keep this aggression up, they're out farming them as well at the moment. It's gonna get pretty good for RoX.KIS. Initiation in the top lane.
Yeah, the hook shot up on BZ. He's able to leap still, though. Should be staying alive. Perhaps some flares will send him back home. Might be something. In comes an arrow. Cheshire Cat came in from behind. Moonlight Shadow helping out. The flare misses and Cheshire Cat will go down. Moonlight Shadow, another one of those ultis. Global ultis. They've got Stampede and Moonlight Shadow. That's actually a very, very strong combination. In mid lane, in the meantime, Naga Siren gets surprised by having Yul on her face, but a bat on level 5 can't really do anything against a Naga Siren level 5 as well. 2 supports, getting some experience in the mid lane. It's good on them.
Yeah, they're still just being able to walk around and set up these ganks. They were even... Cheshire Cat, that was kind of really aggressive for him to teleport in behind that tower, trying to kill the Mirana. Mirana was low, but I don't know that he's ever really going to be able to get that kill very effectively. He's not very fast right now. He's got just basic boots. I think he gets hit by an arrow, and if anyone else is there, of course, he dies. And someone else was there, so he died. Regardless, they are moving around now. RoX is, like you said, farming up their supports a little bit. Abaddon in the mid lane, he's hit level 6, so he has borrowed time. It's going to become pretty difficult for Power Rangers to really set up kills on some of these really tanky heroes. And of course, Abaddon can sort of make other heroes tanky as well.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat is going for the Hand of Midas. I mean, he will be able to catch up, but right now they have to bank for a later game. They can't win a ganking war up against the Stampede, and now also... Oh, nice gank by, or nice courier kill by... Who was it? Oh, there he is. G. And he gets a hook on him. He cannot blink away for another second, and he's dead. Do you think that's worth it?
It's close. It's a lot of gold and experience to give the way of CXC and Finchko, I guess. So it's good to get it, the gold, and he almost got away. He probably thought he would be able to get away, but it's not much less good when G goes down because he's kind of their big player on the map at the moment. Queen of Pain's the only one who really can do that much for now.
In the meantime, Yul reaches level 6. Oh, BZZ tries to leap away, but the Rocket Mirage still hurts so much. In comes a flare. Nice heal coming off from Yul. BZZ runs, and he might be able to stay alive. Has a bottle. There comes the Stampede. Trying to counter-initiate. Arrow hits on Roshan. Well, that happened. And a Fiend's Grip. Goblak showing that he is level 6. And
30 seconds.
30 seconds. We're gonna see Cheshire Cat fighting for his life in the grip. He probably will go down though. Actually,
I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard for them to get the kill. There's a lot of support really close by. They're going to go for it.
Oh, in comes the Naga Siren song. That's going to help. Naga Siren also showing level. All these supports reaching level 6. In comes the cooldown and the Illuminate. Only hits on Tron. He will be able to get away. Tanky enough. And Moonlight Shadow. All these ultimates are so important. They have, like, both squads have got so many level 6 ultimates that are so important, which actually RoX.KIS wins in terms of ultimate because they got Fiend's Grip, Moonlight Shadow, the Stampede. I would actually call Borrowed Time also a quite nice one, especially for a support.
Yeah, it can be very powerful at keeping him alive, just letting him get a couple extra spells off, and of course if he can just get a little bit of health back by taking a big nuke like Illuminate or Call Down, that's also very good.
Yep. He can just heal himself in the team fight. It's always worth it. Well, back to farming for Tron on the Centaur on the top lane, who has got himself still the treads and the hood. Other than that, nothing just yet. I'm still hoping that he'll go for a Blink Dagger, especially since apparently he can't really hit stuns without it. We saw him, of course, on the bottom lane earlier, just landing a stun in the middle of everybody, but not really hitting anybody with it, which was kind of a shame. But that, of course, would make him a lot more aggressive than what he is right now. And for Power Rangers, they just need their gyrocopter to farm up. And he is actually, I mean, he is not farming that slowly. He is still highest for his team in terms of net worth. He is trying to keep up with RoX, but he doesn't hardly have any items just yet. And he is still below Queen of Pain and below the Centaur. And both, like, the 2 cores of RoX are both higher than the 1 core right now on the side of Power Rangers.
Yeah, RoX is still leading in farm, but it's not a substantial lead, really. It's just kind of a little bit of a lead, like 2,000 gold or so. So they're not really far ahead where it's completely insurmountable for Power Rangers to really come back, particularly because they have the better carry on the map. There aren't really a lot of carries on the side of RoX.KIS. Queen of Pain certainly can sort of move into that role, and Mirana is kind of intended to be in that role this game, though she's not doing particularly well. So we'll see what ends up happening.
In comes a long-range arrow from on Cheshire Cat. And the smoked up G and Goblak pick him up. 4 heroes for RoX on the top lane. And as you said, I mean, in terms of really carry heroes, RoX doesn't really have that much. But this stage of the game, between 10 and 25 minutes, I'd say, or even 30 minutes, depending on how much they can shut down the Nature's Prophet and the Gyrocopter, it's their ground, it's their territory, it's their game, and they are gonna try to get as much advantage as they can from the time that they have right now. More arrows being shot. Oh, miss.
It's definitely true when they have all of these heroes that have so much power in the mid game. They're just gonna force towers, force fights, and Power Rangers are probably going to be mostly dodging that. They have a pretty decent turtling lineup with the Clockwork, with the Keeper of Light. They can sort of just throw down Illuminates, try and force them to back off, and then try and get a pick off with the Clockwork hookshot on the retreat path. And then, of course, Naga Siren to just disengage if they need to. So we'll see if they end up able to make that work the way they need to, because as it stands now, they're just not in a great position, and they can't afford to just lose all of their towers.
No, definitely not. They need that farming space. They've got Gyrocopter that needs a lot of farm, and they also got Nature's Prophet that in the end will require a lot of farm as well. So they just need their jungle to be their jungle and not RoX.KIS's jungle. But we'll see if RoX.KIS will allow that or not, because we almost have an Orchid complete up on G, and that of course will allow for a lot more aggression coming off from him. And with aggression I mean actually solo aggression. Will allow him to solo kill basically almost everybody on the map, I would say. And Centaur actually looks to be going for either a Vanguard or a Heart. I'm hoping that's a Heart, because I don't really like Vanguard. But yeah, looks solid.
Yeah,
Tanking up.
They're trying to just get as big as possible. This Centaur is going to be so difficult to kill, and I think that's kind of just their goal, is that Centaur is going to stand in the middle of their team and be a complete nuisance and see what you can do about it. And as it stands now, Power Rangers don't really have much of anything to do about it. There's no real right-click damage coming out from any of these heroes, and with the Centaur getting tankier, Return is going to do quite a bit of damage back to them, and none of them are survivable enough to take it right now. So, kind of expecting them to just try and force another tower very soon. Possibly the mid one. It's probably a little bit better than going all the way bottom. But either one could be very powerful. They just have to keep this pressure on, I think, right now.
I think you're right, and I think that it's going to be about time, because G just made sure that he farmed enough for his Orchid, so he has that ready. We just also saw Goblak picking up 2 smokes. And of course they were the team that smoked up before this, Goblak and G. They with the 2 of them, they smoked up to go for Cheshire Cat, and I think we're gonna see the same thing again, trying to go for a gank, and then of course after the gank take down the tower. That seems like a reasonable plan. Mid tower, indeed the one also with the most strategical value. Also the one that's gonna be forcing out the most defense from Power Rangers though, so we'll see if that's indeed the one that they go for. We already have Centaur pushing a little bit on the bottom lane, and perhaps that's where they want to go. We actually have 3 people on the top lane at the moment for Power Rangers, so not quite sure where they want to go. If they want to try to maybe kill off Goblak. I mean, it's a support that's farming by himself. The hookshot misses though. And that's not going to be an initiation. That's going to be people backing off, defending mid.
Yeah, it looks like they're grouping up. Arrow going to fly, hoping to just spot someone out. It's not going to hit on Moon.
Close though.
Yeah, they need to be... I think they are aware that Moon has BKB. He did just show it there by farming those creeps. That makes it a little more awkward for them to try and fight here. They have a lot of spell damage, And if they can't really burst down Moon, he could still do pretty good DPS with just the flag cannon. Just keep attacking, try and hurt them as much as possible. So maybe they're a little more tentative about whether or not they want to go for this push now. And we see Tron continue to farm. Maybe he just wants to rush this heart first. Or if he wants Blink Dagger, he could certainly pick that up at this point as well.
Yeah, we'll see how much damage he can do to a tower, perhaps, as well. We have them both. I mean, everybody is holding a bit back. We know that RoX.KIS want to fight. I mean, they're clearly showing it. We actually have God hanging around bottom lane as well, hoping that someone is going to try to gank Tron. That doesn't involve, of course, Moon. And Snare already up on BZZ. It is here Power Rangers in the mid lane that wants to fight. But RoX.KIS, they want to make something happen. They want to force a mistake out from Power Rangers almost. That's what it feels like. But they're not getting it. Power Rangers just playing very secure. If something doesn't work, they back off. They're not overextending. They're just playing it safe. This time the hook hits on the top lane. Brain Sap still gonna be there though. Moonlight Shadow TP's in. Goblak will still die, but in comes Yol with the Moonlight Shadow. The Sentry Ward is already down though. They do see him. In comes the Stampede. TP out. Is it gonna be in time? The arrow and the Sonic Wave actually make sure the arrow is not even needed. They get at least one in return. In the meantime, in the mid lane, the tier 1 tower went down, so I think Power Rangers playing it perfectly. I mean, giving up a Clockwork for a tier 1 tower mid is actually fairly decent.
And they got a kill in exchange that they got first. So yeah, things didn't go poorly, and they're laying some damage on the tier 2 mid. So maybe a little bit of a overreaction from RoX.KIS just to chase him down. They're gonna go for this now. Arrow's gonna fly and not land.
I think Cheshire Cat's gonna die though. He was nightmare. He has no silence up.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. So they get one kill out of it. And they force the use of the Naga Sleep, which is still only level 1, so it's a 3-minute cooldown. With that on cooldown, I think they can definitely force this mid tower, but actually they're going to go for Roshan first, which is also a very valuable target for them to go to now, and should be very easy for them to pick up.
Yeah, nothing really that can stop them from doing this. Maybe Clockwork can hookshot it and try to steal the Aegis, but with the way that Power Rangers has been playing, like fairly safe, fairly calculated as well, I don't think that they're gonna risk that. Actually, they didn't even know what was going on, perhaps. But they do take down the tier 1 tower, perhaps on the top lane.
Yeah, someone from Power Rangers pinged that they were doing it. There was nothing they were really going to be able to do, though. So they went for a top. They're going to be able to get this tower down pretty easily. That's pretty much the only trade they could get, was to go top and take that tier 1. And it looks like they might think about laying some damage on this tier 2 top. I don't think they'll be able to get it unless RoX.KIS just completely ignore them. And they're like, yeah, fine, we'll just try and take this tier 1 and give up a tier 2. And they're going to back off.
Smart choice. From the side, in comes G. He's invisible right now. Looks for Nature's Prophet. Orchid is there, Scream. Sonic Wave is on cooldown though. He blinks away, can't get it done. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
Radiant's middle tower.
With the Sonic Wave, that would have been a kill, but unfortunately not the case. In the meantime, we have also got J4 just still pushing down top. I mean, nobody's coming yet, so why not? Laying down some harassment on that tier 2, of course, with the Nature's Prophet in your team. The moment that tier 2 tower is dead, that's gonna be opening up so much in terms of split push for the Nature's Prophet, especially later on. That's definitely worth it. I mean, look at that tower. It's just sad. It's sitting on 371 HP. One push from Nature's Prophet might be enough to take it down.
Yeah, they're getting kind of split pushed pretty hard here thus far, and I'm not really sure why RoX.KIS are taking such a slow and defensive posture in this game. If they want to, what they're trying to farm up really is what I'm questioning. BKB is coming out from BZZ in the near future. That's certainly a good item, but I don't know if it's super necessary at this point in the game. There's not that much magic damage coming out from Power Rangers or crowd control really that he needs to deal with. It's definitely a good item and an item that he would like to have, but it's his only item right now. Heart is finished by Centaur now, so he's really tanky.
And then the question remains, where's the damage gonna come from? As you say, Mirana going for a fairly defensive item. And of course they have a lot of spell damage, and it still is the same. But you're up against someone that has a BKB, so what are you gonna do against him? You can't really right-click him to death, because that will take too long. Fiend's Grip, of course, will still be going through the BKB, so that is a possibility. And as you said, I mean, RoX.KIS, after, I mean, they went top, right? They wanted to try and take down the one that killed Goblak. Everybody went top. And that was just Power Rangers taking advantage of the fact that they knew RoX.KIS wanted to fight, so everybody came in because everybody wanted to fight and they took a tier 1 tower. And after that, RoX.KIS, they're now kind of taking the opposite stand, perhaps. Being extra careful and maybe a little bit too defensive, as you say. As they take down the tier 1 tower, perhaps, though.
And these towers are going to be so easy for them to take down. Centaur's just going to tank them up, and return does a ton of damage to the towers as well. They're trying to find anyone they can, though, when they're sitting behind the tower just throwing spells, trying to push them off it. And as long as Power Rangers are able to stay alive and they can put some damage on these heroes, it's very good for them. Even if Centaur is still alive and at full health, obviously, because he does have a heart. I don't know. If they get split pushed out of the game, it's going to be kind of hard with this kind of lineup to really come back from it.
So evaluating the pickup, like Abaddon, I kind of still like Abaddon as support. But evaluating Centaur, what do you think about his hero in the solo safe lane farming role that he actually did very well in, to be fair? But his
Centaur,
role right now.
Yeah, I mean, Centaur was able to get a lot of farm. I'm still wondering what he's going to do with it. He's very tanky. That's very good for them. Goblok's going to get initiated on in mid lane again.
For a sour Cheshire Cat.
Okay.
Getting way over Rosetto. In comes the Stampede. They're looking for someone with the Moonlight Shadow. They won't be able to find anybody anymore, though. TXC already TP'd out, and again, Power Rangers is able to disengage.
Yeah, and that's Stampede completely wasted. It was a level 2, so it's the minute and a half cooldown. So they're going to have that for a little while. It makes it kind of harder for them to engage. I'm surprised they went for the Stampede after he force-staffed out. I think it was kind of obvious that they were just completely disengaging, and they weren't really able to get close enough in time. I don't know, they're just continuing to evade fights, and I think that's all Power Rangers want and need to do in this game. They definitely have the better late game with Nature's Prophet and Gyrocopter. Centaur is pretty scary as the game goes on, but I feel like he's going to struggle when there's a lot of damage coming out from those two heroes.
Yeah, I feel you're right. Gem of True Sight picked up by the Bane. As we also had already a Gem of True Sight picked up by the Keeper of Light, and all, of course, trying to move towards the fact that, or towards the goal that your opponent team do not have any space to farm, so counter-warding, counter-warding, counter-warding. Just get that control over the map.
Dire's middle tower has been
Nice and eye on the tier 2 tower mid, but it does mean that, I mean, the towers are still in favor of Power Rangers. And with the top tier 2 tower also so low already, Power Rangers, it's getting quite scary at this point. RoX.KIS is not able to play the game that they want to play, and I think Power Rangers is quite happy with that. I mean, they're doing okay. We have Moon, already 3,200 gold in his inventory. We have got Nature's Prophet, who has 2,700 gold, also starts to become that most annoying split pusher in the world, semi-carry kind of Nature's Prophet. It's troublesome. Oh, they want to go mid though. Gee, already blinking in. Want to go for the Naga Siren. The silence is there. She can't sing, and she goes down. Bane with a brain staff. At least RoX.KIS gets a kill. Yay. At long last. But it's just a support Naga Siren.
Yeah, and I don't really feel like they needed to use Stampede for that either. I think that was pretty much an ensured kill no matter what. But they do use it. They make sure they get the kill. The Aegis is reclaimed now, I believe. Yeah, it just got picked up. So they don't have the Aegis now. If they weren't really forcing these tier 2 towers when they had the Aegis, maybe they're not even considering doing it now. They do have the BKB finish now on G. They have it up on Marana, and Marana has 1,700 gold beyond it. So we'll see what the next pickup from Marana is. And I'm hoping it's damage, because they're really going to need it.
Ooh, that arrow. Almost.
Yeah, I watched it too. It almost hit both of them.
Yeah.
Just kind of barely went in between the two. Here comes the next tower though, and Tron's just going to tank it up. You can see the damage the return is doing to the tower, just from him standing there tanking it. And he's not even really taking damage.
Yeah, and he has the shield helping him out as well. In the meantime, Creeper's getting obliterated. Tower still goes down though. So they get that one. And all that it cost was maybe some damage to the Centaur, which wasn't even, as you said, I mean, look at his HP bar. Doesn't even look like he fought. Moonlight Shadow to help get away. We do have the Centaur, of course, level 16, so his Stampede rather, is a 60-second cooldown. Which is really nice, and they can use it a lot, and they're actually using it for the bottom lane right now, because they want to go for Cheshire Cat, but he used the Shadow Blade, tries to get himself away. G has the gem. The Orchid is up there, they know he can't try to TP out, but he will be able to with with the just a TP scroll, who will always carry one of those around. And rightfully so. He lives.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Tron tried to go for that stomp realistically. He could have just waited with G on his way. He didn't need to try and go for like the crazy hit him while he's invisible stomp and make a big play. Maybe he was worried that he was TPing right there. But he ends up just putting it on cooldown as a result. He doesn't have it when Nature's Prophet TP's away there, and Go Black also wasn't really close enough to be able to hit with the Bane. So he gets away. They use Stampede again to not really great effect. It was level 3 now though, so the cooldown's less important with only the minute cooldown. Centaur's going double heart.
Oh god.
I just looked at his inventory. He has another Reaver and Vitality booster. So yeah,
It's gonna be the most unkillable Centaur ever.
it's gonna be real difficult for them to kill this guy. And also that return damage is gonna be so huge. Since it does 50% of your strength and bonus, and he's just gonna have like 200 strength. Every time you attack him, you're gonna take like 120 damage. It's definitely gonna be painful.
Poor Gyrocopter. I mean, luckily for him, he still has a 10-second BKB. But the moment that Power Rangers actually decide to fight, that's gonna put them in a very tough spot. I mean, maybe RoX.KIS. I mean, they still don't really have that much damage though, unless Mirana gets herself some damage items. But the endurance right now of them is insane. And that's gonna be troublesome also for Power Rangers. But split pushing still is their way to victory, I think. As Nature's Prophet is going for a Scythe of Ice. They still haven't been able to pick up that tier 2 tower on the top lane.
Yeah, they can try and split push, but I think one of the biggest problems is if they group up, or RoX.KIS groups up and just push down a lane, Centaur can tank a tower pretty much indefinitely, even with heroes like kind of trying to throw spells at him. He's not really going to care with this double heart, like 4,000 HP build, and Return is going to shred these towers. He has 4,000 HP with these 2 hearts. That's so much HP.
Do you think he's gonna go for triple heart?
I feel like already going for double heart, you're like committed, right?
Yeah.
You just gotta get as much strength as possible at this point, because second heart is not really cost effective. You don't get the regen anymore since it doesn't stack. I probably would have liked to see like armor picked up from him, just because it makes him actually a lot more tanky. But regardless, he does have the double heart. He wants as much health and strength, I guess, as possible. So we'll see what he goes for next. I can't imagine triple heart. That's so crazy.
Well, he will probably, well, actually, yeah, Aegis goes to where he's gonna play. But I'm hoping also, as you said, I mean, Assault Caress might be a nice addition, also for his team. Wouldn't be that bad. Roshan goes to RoX.KIS again, of course. I mean, Power Rangers didn't even attempt to try and go for it. No surprise, they don't want to fight. They've let us know that for like the entire game. And they're not about to change right now. But they will take down the tier 2 tower top. There is a fortification should RoX.KIS want to use it. But it's not going to be enough regardless. So that's a tower down. Maybe the tower on the bottom lane as well. But in the meantime, RoX.KIS, are they looking to end it? Are they looking to just see, like, send Centaur up the high ground? And see how far he gets with that tier 2 tower, tier 3 tower?
Yeah, I think Centaur is just going to sit on this tower and watch the tower die. And, like, say, what do you guys have? Just all they have to do here is ask the question. Like, look, Centaur doesn't even have to attack the tower. The tower will kill itself. So, yeah, it's really silly that this is how it's going, but they're just going to be able to siege the tower. And with that arrow now...
Oh, nice Sonic Wave up on 2. BKB turned on a little bit too late. Gem still drops. But this Gyrocopter cannot do anything in this fight. BKB turned on by G as well, looking for Cheshire Cat, who gets himself away. In comes the ensnare when everybody else of Power Rangers backs himself out, but that's exactly what it is. Power Rangers is backing themselves out. They can't really fight. They need more, and Centaur is just standing there hitting on the racks. In comes the arrow. This time doesn't hit the Keeper of the Light, but Rex are down. Power Rangers, they cannot fight this Fiend's Grip up on Cheshire Cat. Moonlight Shadow there already, just in case they want to back off. Cheshire Cat still alive for now. Never mind, goes down. Naga Siren goes down. Aegis though gets burned up on God, who gets hex traded when he comes out. Rocket Barrage is there as well. Is there a shield to help out? He blinks away. He is safe. The Rex die. RoX.KIS lives. Aegis goes down. Fair enough. But Power Rangers not able to stop the initiation from going, and it's RoX.KIS' decision to just back out because that Centaur was never in any danger. Ever.
he pressed H in their base, in range of the tower, and just stood there. Like, tower, you will die well before I die. And that's really sad for the tower. It makes no sense whatsoever. But it is what's going to happen. Yeah, they're just so tanky on the side of RoX right now. They're going on Yol in the forest. It looks like they'll be able to get him.
He can try to run himself away. Takes an Illuminate. That's going to be him gone. Borg time already on cooldown. Oh well. At least they get one. You know, the comfort prize.
Yeah, and we see the plate mail picked up by Centaur now, so it does look like he'll go for the AC next. I think that's the right call. Goblok's maybe in trouble here.
Nature's Prophet.
I think he's just messing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have some more items up though. We have Gyrocopter with the butterfly right now. I'm not sure how much that will matter. I mean, yeah, his damage will be increasing, but right now, I mean, previous fight, the one in the base, he got burnt down by a Sonic Wave before he turned on his BKB. And it's still spell damage that was the highest DPS there for them, so I'm not quite sure if a Butterfly of the Evasion will really help him. Or if he can actually now kill the Centaur, which is also quite doubtful. Mirana has got some more damage, however. She picked herself up a Maelstrom at least. More spell damage though.
It's really hard to say if they're going to ever be able to kill this Centaur. I think Moon will kill himself very, very quickly before he ever is able to kill Centaur. It's going to be crazy. I don't know what their answer is here. They don't have a lot of spell damage realistically to try and take him down, and he has a hood anyway, so that's not really that great an option unless you have a ton of it. And he has 4,300 HP. That's a lot of spells you have to throw with his 50% magic resistance. You have to do 8,000 magic damage if you want to go that route, or you could do right clicks and you're going to take a lot back.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow. Use Sonic Wave on 2, Scream, down they go. Nice gank. Goblok and G, the two stand-ins, making sure it works. They might lose their carry though, yeah, they lose Mirana. But, well, they get two in return, including Nature's Prophet, who is still not able to split push as effectively as he might hope to.
Yeah, they ended up trading 2 for 1, and they got no supports died, so they got the 2 solos effectively of the Nature's Prophet and the Clockwork. Lost their Mirana, who is their carry. Usually that's a bad thing, but I think their carry is more kind of Centaur at this point.
Yeah.
He just took a tower while that was going on. Whatever. I'm big and tanky, and now I have AC done as well. So, gets even more unkillable with his 24 armor now instead of 9. And also that increases the damage done by return, which is also silly.
4,300 health points. Good luck! He's also highest on net worth by 4k actually compared to God, so yeah, he's doing really well. There's only one tier tower left standing on the top lane, but it looks like they don't even care about that. They're just gonna go bottom lane. By the way, also for the Gyrocopter, he is gonna be Heaven's Halberded if he ever tries to attack Tron and ever gets in the way of almost killing him off. Then he will be disarmed, and right now, split push. Power Rangers, you better start pushing up that tower, the top lane, tier 2, tier 3 tower, as hard as you can, because I don't think they can stop this bottom push.
Yeah, I don't know what their answer is here. I think they're kind of just done here. Power Rangers are gonna kind of just be finished very quickly, but they're gonna give it a go. They're not calling GG yet, and Tron in the meantime is trying to just get aggro off this tower. Yes. Now the tower will attack him. And
the tower will do damage back to itself. And look at it go.
Look at it go.
Look at it go. It's just. Are you thinking we're gonna see more Centaurs picked up?
I don't know. He's an interesting hero. I'm not sure that it's always gonna work out this particular way where he gets complete like free farm.
Yeah.
As a solo in the safe lane. That really helped him here because he needed a lot of items before he was able to really do anything with this kind of lineup.
This is the last stand. Cooldown comes down, Illuminator already charging up. Goblok still taking a lot of damage. In comes a Sonic Wave though, and it's a Gyrocopter that's already dead. Naga Siren to fall. I think this might be a buyback from both though. They might be able to do something here. Nature's Prophet Ultimate Brilliance bouncing through, but Tron, I mean, this Centaur is just standing there, hitting Rex, and nobody cares. Look at, they throw everything on him. They have to back off. They can't kill him, it's just too much. Half HP on the Keeper of the Light and on the Nature's Prophet because they almost killed themselves. Luckily for Gyrocopter, he had his BKB on, but this is a GG well played. That Centaur, I mean... yeah, that was Centaur for you. However, this is a double elimination bracket, so right now we know that RoX.KIS is moving on to the winner's bracket. Power Range will move on to the loser bracket. We're gonna first cast the other two teams here in this double elimination bracket, so that means that we're gonna see Cascade, formerly known as OSG, taking on XIC Cup, also known as Terrible Terrible Damage. And after that we're gonna have, I believe, the loser bracket semifinals first. So for now, RoX.KIS gets a break of about 2.5 hours, and we're gonna see Cascade versus Terrible Terrible Damage. Awesome. Let's jump ourselves into into the next match. I'm still kind of overthrown with the Centaur. Double heart doesn't die kind of thing. Anyways, here we go.